Hey Gary, how's it going? Give me 1 second. I'm going to open a new page here. And let's see here. There we are. Give me a second here. I'm going to go in so I can see the chat. All right, I got to see these. 1 second. All right, I got to see these. 1 second. Let's see. Hey Gary from Melbourne, how you guys doing? Tony, thank you. Finally got it working. I don't know why. I was trying to use the continuity thing with Apple where it goes from your Mac to the iPhone and uses that as the camera, and that was not working clearly. So just decided to do it straight from the phone, which I think a few people suggested. So yeah, that ended up working better. I'm on my phone, Ethan. Yeah, it's working a little better this time. Hey Billy, how's it going? S Tang, how are you doing? Brad Novak, I recognize some of these names from comments. Sean, hey, from Charleston, nice to have you here. Video is operational, X-Ray Ted. Finally, I totally apologize. First time, and like I said, I was trying to use the wireless feature from my MacBook to my iPhone, and that was not working well. So, hey Russ, CJ, how's it going? See, you're in Arizona, CJ. I was just there recently, probably be going back soon. New Zealand. How's Brad from New Zealand? That's awesome. I love seeing all these people from, I love when I get comments from everywhere from Germany to Spain to Australia to New Zealand. It's so cool that, I mean, that's what's so great about YouTube. See, X-Ray Ted. Hello, Brian. I have the Napier 8200 SUV tent that goes in the back of the Model Y. How far to the right side of the Model Y does your cargo box swing out? Maybe 3 feet. That's about it. So it's, you can see right there. Let me see if I can move it. Hopefully I don't lose you guys. So comes out basically just right here. Russ Rayner, are you a cash or tournament poker player? I am successful at neither. I enjoy playing tournaments. I used to play cash actually quite often, but especially living in Vegas part-time. But I play tournaments every once in a while. I'll usually play a couple events at the World Series of Poker. I've made some final tables at like daily tournaments and stuff like that, but never anything substantial. But it's fun. I like going. And you always have that dream of, you know, maybe hitting one big. Say hey kid, asking if I'm heading to Mammoth Lakes. Not planning to right now. This trip was just for a few days, but I plan to probably head back to Vegas for a little bit. I got a few things to do there, and then I'm going to head over to, I think I'm going to go to Arizona actually, and I'm planning to be in Arizona for the Super Bowl as well. So unfortunately the Vikings didn't make it. I was hoping that was going to work out, and I was for sure going to go, but yeah, I'll probably be in Arizona soon. That'll probably be the next trip. Let's see here. Nick B from Ohio. What's up, man? Clement Musati. Hello. He says, hello from London. Well, hello back from, well, just so you guys know, this is not Mount Whitney. Mount Whitney is right over on the other side. Actually, it's a little bit that way on the other side. I actually tried to drive up there to do a hike today and ended up not being able to do it because the road was closed and there was a lot of snow, and so just wasn't going to happen today. But yeah, I mean, you can see just like this awesome whole mountain line right here and stuff, and it's getting a little cold too. It's probably, I think think it's about 35, 40 degrees right now. So at night, it's been getting pretty chilly out here. Let's see here. Sleeping on Xped tonight. I am. In fact, let me show you right here. This is Xped right there. And I just have, let's see here, so if I can show you guys. Got my fridge freezer in there. Got the Jackery over there. The laptop bag right there. So yeah. Let me sit back down so I can use the laptop to read the comments, because on the phone they're like this big and I can't see. Love your content, Sean Gotti says. I appreciate that. I've been having a blast making these videos, so hope to continue that. RB says, you wish he had gotten the factory tow hitch. Cost $500 additional to add later. This is true. I decided right away that I was probably going to tow a trailer, but ended up deciding against that after I tested one and saw that it was over a 50% range loss. That wasn't going to happen. So if anybody saw my videos from last year, I had the Yakima box on the roof, but that wasn't going to work either, because I mean, it works and it worked for over a year, but I decided that it was probably better to just get something that was a little more efficient in the back. It's not quite as big as the rooftop box, but definitely still works. You know, I think it's 10 cubic feet versus 6 cubic feet on top, but I don't know, it works great. I can use it to cook on, which is great. And then also have the Starlink. It's perfect place to set that down. All right, let's see what else. Let's see. Yeah, and back to the hitch. So glad I got mine. If anybody's even thinking about towing anything, even locally, like a U-Haul, like you got to move stuff, it's nice to have. So I'd suggest just getting it right when you order your Tesla. Or any car, or truck, I should say. Did you end up finding some land to build a cabin on? I did, and it ended up not working out. It ended up not being available. The actual one that I showed you guys where I walked to the lake in my video, it ended up not being available anymore. So I'm looking at some other spots. That one was a little far too. That was like, I think an hour and a half or hour and 45 minutes from the Twin Cities. I'm looking to build on near a lake, probably not on a lake, because I would rather have land and have a lot more acreage and be close to a lake, and then just keep like a boat on there where I can maybe like go to a marina and just, you know, launch it from there. So I think that's kind of the plan. And so hopefully this summer, I do plan to spend quite a bit of time up in Minnesota, at least probably 3 months. And so during that time, I plan to look a little bit more. And I did find some probably about 45 minutes from downtown Minneapolis. So it's still close, but you feel like you're, you know, way out there. So stay tuned, probably later this summer. Let's see here. You talk about safety while camping. Horn OK says, yes. You know, you definitely want to make sure that you're staying at places that you feel comfortable with. If there's any time you ever feel like this is just something that you just don't have a good feeling about, just leave. I'm at a campground right now. It's $10 a night. I decided to do that instead of you know, going a little bit farther into the wilderness, simply because they have bathrooms right here. You know, it's just a little more convenient. You have a little, I mean, look, I'm camping out of a Tesla. I mean, you know, I'm not roughing it. So I'm looking for places that you still get to go and hike and do all that fun stuff, but you still have the modern, you know, necessities. So I would say, as far as safety, make sure you do have something with you. You know, even if it's just like a hammer or a bat or something like that. Typically bear spray works too. And, you know, depending on the state you live in, you know, obviously there's other options as well that I'm sure you're aware of. So I think when you're charging, you know, try not to go to places middle of the night that you're just by yourself. I've only had 1 or 2 problems the entire time I've been traveling that were kind of, you know, sketchy. But I would say just, oh, also make sure that like you use your iPhone. If you have an Apple phone, I'm sure Android does the same thing. You can just send your location to different people. So I have a group of people, I'll just send my location to them and they know where I'm camping at. They can see the GPS. If anything ever happened or I hit like my Apple Watch emergency, they would know exactly where I'm at. So just little things like that, you know, just common sense stuff. Try to get through a few more of these. Let's see here. Let's see here. X-ray TED. I see you got one. The cargo box, X-ray TED, I have not done the review of. Actually, I've shot it. I actually finished it the other day, but haven't posted it yet. So this box, the review will be coming up hopefully within 2 weeks. I'll have all the measurements as well for everything, so you'll see all that. Let's see here. Ethan, hello from Ontario. Hey, Ethan, how's it going? Sean Gotti 79, is this cargo box way better than top loading? It's smaller. Top one, 16 cubic feet. The rear one, 10 cubic feet. But I find it to be better. There's no wind noise. The range is only like maybe 5% loss compared to 25 to 35 sometimes. I think those two things alone, you know, just make it easy for me to make that decision. Also, being able to, like I said, put the Starlink on the back right here. You can see, let's see. Yeah, there you go. You can see the Starlink right there. Being able to use it to cook on. It's just, for me, no brainer. I just like it better. I'm not against the ones. I think the look of the ones on the top is better, but oh well. Prescott or Sedona, Arizona, say, hey kid. I camped in Sedona, and I actually did a video from there like a year and a half ago. That was beautiful. So I'll probably do something else. Maybe Prescott. I was thinking about going down, maybe even a little south of the Tucson area. I'm just trying to get somewhere warm. I mean, this is the coldest I've camped in a while, so. Carrie Webster, have you talked about the range difference between the rear box and the top box? Just briefly, just a minute ago. But yeah, you're looking at, with the rear box, you're probably looking at 5% range loss. Somebody earlier actually made a comment and suggested getting on the back, getting a spoiler, and that'll help kind of, you know, deflect the wind a little bit up. You know, honestly, I think it's probably less than 5% range loss right now, whereas the roof mounted one was somewhere around 25% on average. So for me, although it's a little smaller, I think this one is a better choice. By the way, I have links to all this stuff in the descriptions of all my videos. So if you guys are looking for it or wanting more information, it's all down there. All right, Starlink game changer. Yeah, I mean, look at this. I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. I barely had any cell signal. Let me see if I can, let's see. Okay, let me turn the camera around for you guys. Like, look at this. Like, how cool is this? That, I mean, I'm out in the middle of nowhere and I'm live streaming on YouTube. How cool is that? So let me turn that back around. So Starlink is definitely a game changer. Yeah, somebody asked earlier about speeds, I think in the other chat where it wasn't working. Speeds, I'm getting anywhere from about 60 megs down up to 150 down. So I would, you know, I'd highly suggest that anybody who travels or camps at least, I don't know, probably 3-4 times a year, get the RV version, and then make sure that you just pause it, because then you're not paying the monthly fee, and just pause it when you're not going to do it. Yeah, it's $600 up front for the hardware, but then you can just pause it whenever you're not. So like the last time, I had actually paused mine for like the last 3 months. And then yesterday when I got here, you do have to have signal on another device when you do set it up, because you need to log back into your Starlink account and like kind of activate it and turn it on. So just make sure you do that. But yeah, it's been a game changer. It's been awesome. I love being out here watching movies at night when there's, you're by the campfire for a while and then you decide, oh, I'm going to go inside and just, get inside the cozy car and have camp mode on with the fireplace and turn on a Netflix movie and stream it at 150 megs down. Yeah, it's a game changer. All right, let's see here. Janet Jenkins, thanks for the video on Peregrine Peak in the Smoky Mountains. I live near there and I'm going this spring. You're welcome. Yeah, that was a fun one. I actually do want to go back there. I spend part of the year in the Nashville area, so it's only a few hours drive for me. So I do plan to go back there fairly soon. Andrew from British Columbia, how's it going, man? Your channel helped me get through COVID quarantine boredom last year. Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, and in fact, I actually ended up getting it I've only had it once, but ended up getting it like, I don't know, and I think in the fall of last year, or no, maybe it was in the spring. I can't even remember. But yeah, and then I found out when I was out camping, like the first day I was out, and I was like 8 hours, 9 hours away from Vegas. So ended up turning it into an episode, and so I do have an episode where I had COVID. But yeah, it sucked. It wasn't fun. At least I was out in nature and couldn't infect anybody else. But those mountains, yeah, they're pretty amazing, aren't they? Yeah, like I said, I tried driving. You go down, let's see, this way about maybe about 10, 11 miles, and you can. I was going to go to this area where there's a lake up there, and I was going to try to make my way through there, but the road was closed, and there was literally snow all over it, and then a big sign up. So that'll be in the video, I'm guessing probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Right now I'm about 2 to 3 weeks behind. Brad Novak, that's so cool. You Starlink. Yeah, again, just being able to be out here in the middle of nowhere where you would have no cell signal, and to be able to live stream or watch movies or, conduct business. A lot of people, that work remotely, this gives you a chance to like travel more and do stuff like that. Any RVers or van lifers that are out that can, that need to work on the road. It's a game changer for everybody. And really there's no other company doing it. There's no other company that has that kind of speed, that easy of setup with, minimal hardware that you need. So yeah, I've been loving it. Ethan asked, did I PPF my Model Y? I did not, unfortunately. I wish I kind of would have at the beginning, but I actually wish I would have just done the front. One of my first videos ever was where I called it a bug's life. And there was I think it's like my second video ever. And my entire front of the car was completely covered in bugs. Like you couldn't even see the white, it looked black. And so, like getting that off, I must have scrubbed like 3 times, washed it 3 times at the car wash and, scrubbed it myself, and it finally came off. I did find some tar and bug remover from, I can't remember exactly where it is, but it's on my community page, and there's a section there where somebody asked about PPF and I said no, but I did find this bug and tar remover. And that has worked great so far, but I wish I probably would have done it at the beginning. I'll for sure do at least a front PPF the next time I get a car. How much space does the Starlink box itself take while on the road? Let me show you. Let's see. Turn this around. That's it. I put it all in there. I got this box from Home Depot for like 20 bucks, and that's where I put it right now when, I'm camping. So, because obviously the back, got my bed. This is the XPED Megamat Auto. And then of course got my Jackery, like I mentioned earlier, little LED lantern, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And then for anybody who's arriving late, got my ice cold cooler with all my food. I can leave this thing down here in the sub trunk for like probably like a week or two without any issues. I just put these little Velcro wood blocks right there, and they give it enough space that there's enough breathability in there. No problems. You know, you just want to make sure you have a little airflow, but yeah, it's been working great. Sorry, I'll try to go a little faster too with some of these answers. Again, first time doing this, so appreciate the patience. Brad Novak, Teslas are only just getting onto the roads in New Zealand. People have no idea what's coming. Yeah, I mean, this is something I'm probably going to do a video on at some point for numerous reasons. I mean, I'll probably buy another Tesla. It's the best car I've ever had. And I've had everything from Cadillacs to Mercedes to anything. I mean, technology-wise, obviously, it's way above everything else. And for numerous reasons, I'd like to try some other cars. But the charging infrastructure for third party, it's terrible. I mean, it's just absolutely horrific. Look at it. There's plenty of other YouTubers that I'm sure you guys follow too that have talked about, you know, Electrify America. ChargePoint is okay, but they don't have a lot of, you know, really fast chargers. So like the, you know, 250 up. So right now, as much as I'd love to get another Tesla, or I'm sorry, I should say, as much as I'd like to try another car, like the Cadillac Lyriq or something like that, I just can't. I can't justify it because I can't travel with one of those, at least not without a huge headache. With this, you know, it's a minimal headache. Occasionally when you're out in like the wilderness like this, you'll come across a place where you like, you know, it might be like just a little hard or a little inconvenient to go charge or something like that. Obviously, it's not as convenient as gas stations, but yeah, I mean, it's just at some point, I'd like to try another one. It's just not now. So yeah, Tesla's kind of got it wrapped right now. You have bear spray or anything just in case from Ricky Yo. Yeah, I do keep bear spray. That's actually my go-to that I would say as any protectant just for when you're traveling on the road, especially if you're a woman or something. Just have, you know, if you're looking for any type of safety, bear spray will do the trick for most things. So I would say that should be your number one thing you keep in the car with you. As long as it's legal in your area, go ahead and, or where you're traveling to. I know sometimes when you cross the border from US to Canada, there's issues with bringing it with, but yeah, I'd say definitely have bear spray. I always have mine. I have two actually, one in the back right here, and then one in the front driver's side. Let's see. Raymond. Hi, Brian. Hello. Let's see here. Weight of Starlink in box. I don't know. It's light. I mean, it's not much. It's pretty light. If you have discount link for XPED, we'd love to support you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Nick. As of right now, I've actually talked to XPED a couple times. And so hopefully that relationship goes a little bit farther. Right now I am an affiliate of theirs. And so I do have links below, no discounts right now, but I can see if they can provide one for me. I had planned to talk to them fairly soon. So hopefully I can get something together maybe in the next few weeks. Same with REI. I've been talking with them as well. So Blue Dog 99, I wait for Cybertruck. I have an order in for Cybertruck. I don't know if I'm going to for sure end up doing it. Here's the thing, guys. I really want to tow a trailer. There's two specific trailers that I'm not going to say their names yet, but I really want to go with one of the two. But the problem is that, like for instance, this loses 50% range right off the bat when you tow. So that's not really an option. So I'm thinking Cybertruck will probably be about the same in range loss, just like the Ford Lightning is, just like the Rivian is. But the difference being, if the range is actually around 500 miles and then you lose 50%, I'm cool with 250. I'm cool with 250 mile range. So that is an option at that point. You know, they're going to have to, Tesla is going to have to build out their infrastructure too, because like when you're towing, there's not enough places where you can pull through like a regular gas station. I know there's a few, but there's really not a lot at all. And I've traveled all over this country, and there's very few that make it convenient if you're pulling a trailer. So I would, right now, if you're looking to pull a trailer, I would say do not go with an EV right now, unfortunately. But hopefully that changes here in the next few years and they start coming out with ranges that make sense for that. But right now, not going to happen. Ethan, is YouTube my full-time job? Kind of, not really. So I run a web development company that I've been running for like almost 15 years. I'm kind of winding that down with the current clients, client list that I have. And so I'm hoping to kind of go full-time into this. I'm enjoying it a lot more, that's for sure. I mean, how can you not? But we'll see. We'll see what happens over the next like 6 months probably. YouTube's a funny thing. Channels kind of like explode for one reason or another, or they don't. And, we'll see what happens with mine. But yeah, I think pretty soon I'll be focusing on that solely. But right now, I still have some other clients that I work with. And so being able to use Starlink and things like that on the road, is a huge advantage. Chris, let's see here. Chris BB, how much range did you get back when you ditched the roof box and the trailer for the trailer hitch box? Yeah, so I mentioned this a couple times earlier, but I was losing about 25 to 35% with the cargo box on the roof. Now I'm losing about 5%. So, and there's no wind noise, which is great too. So yeah, it's been a nice change. A little bit smaller, but I like how low it is. And like I said, I can use it to cook on or, to set Starlink on. So kind of multifaceted, or I should say, works for a bunch of different things. Let's see here. From What's Happening with Gary. Bryan, the Melbourne delivery center here in Melbourne, Australia, is averaging 400 Tesla deliveries per week, mostly Ys, some 3s. Model Y was Australia's third best-selling vehicle for the past 2 months. Yeah, I mean, what's funny is that I would say besides the US and maybe Canada, Australia is actually the most people that watch my channel. So yeah, a lot of people in Australia getting Model Ys, and here in the US too. I mean, we're looking at this year, it's set to become the best-selling car in the United States, and it are possibly in the world. That's a $65,000 car that, and when I say this, not the best-selling EV, the best-selling car. So yeah, a lot of people are getting them. I think right now it's probably, we're still in the infancy of EVs. So, it's fun being part of a company like Tesla that, and showing people how they work and little tips and tricks and things like that. And right now, there's more people than ever buying them. So not only in Australia, but here in the US as well. John Berry, hey Bryan, don't really have a question, just want to say hi and love your channel. I really appreciate that. Thank you, John. I really appreciate you watching. You guys have no idea how fun this is, like every day to wake up and see new comments from people and stuff like that. And I will say that like 99% are positive, they're fun. Occasionally you get the trolls here and there, but whatever, who cares about them? Yeah, it's been a blast making the videos, and I hope to do a lot more, even more fun things over the next year. So appreciate you guys watching. Let's see here. Horn okay, please. I once towed a tag teardrop with my Tesla Model 3. Really bad idea. Yeah, that's similar to one that I was looking at for the Model Y, and it's actually part of the tag one. It's the off-road package one. And yeah, it was like 50% range loss. Just not worth it. And that's not even, that's on like roads where you're going 55, 60 miles an hour. Imagine that you're also then going, 70, trying to go around 70 miles an hour on an interstate. It's just going to kill the battery. So unfortunately right now, if you're looking to tow any decent distance, an EV just isn't going to do it, including Rivian, including Ford Lightning. We've seen guys like Kyle Connor and Ryan and Ford Lightnings where they were, getting like 100 miles, 125 miles to 100% full battery. That's unacceptable. Again, these are all things that will be solved with time. You know, in the next year, 2, 3 years, that stuff will get better and we won't have to worry about that. But for now, if you're looking to camp, at least for sure full-time, it's not even, you can't do it. If you're looking to do it part-time, you'd have to use a Tesla simply because the infrastructure for charging isn't good enough on Electrify America and ChargePoint. Not right now. Hopefully it gets better. Let's see here. Sorry, and also, since this is my first time doing this, trying to read through all the questions, I'm trying to go quick, but sometimes I may just start going off on a rant, and bear with me. Ethan, what happened after your neighbor keyed your car door? Did he pay up eventually? Yeah, if you check, this is actually one of the most asked questions. I mean, that has like 250,000 views on that video. So what happened was the guy keyed it. He left for work later in the day or whatever. A friend told me about it, saw it outside, told me about it. I went out, saw it. Then, went to the door of the house. He wasn't home. His wife and kids were. They were like, they looked at the Sentry Mode footage. Were like, yep, that's my dad. And then after that, what's funny is that, a lot of people in the comments were like, oh, you should have just had him arrested no matter what. And yeah, I understand that. He did pay up. He paid up within 5 days fully, took care of everything. And so I think the embarrassment that his wife had, that his daughter had, and the fact that they paid up right away, no problem, just kind of wanted it to go away. I'm not going to, what's the word? I'm not going to hold a grudge that much if the guy's willing to just take care of it at that point. So I was like, okay, if you can take care of it within the week, I won't press charges and we'll just move on. And he did. And so I never had a problem with him the next 2 or 3 months that I was living there. You guys got to remember, that's not my full-time, or that's not my normal house. That house was one that I was renting actually with another YouTuber. And there was no, very successful YouTuber, by the way. But there was no, I was only going to be there for a few months. So it was like, I didn't want to have him arrested and then have to deal with them for the next few months either. So he ended up taking care of it. I looked at it as just kind of like, that was the best option to just move on from it, let him pay, move on. And I never had another problem with the guy again. So worked out for everybody. But yeah, I don't know why people do that. It's so bad. It's so stupid. The search for awesome. I thought the hitch could only hold up to 160 pounds. Yeah, so right now I can only fill that with just under 70 pounds. And that's fine. I don't put anything heavy in there. All the things that I don't want in the back when I'm camping are things like my chair, my fold-out chair, my tent, like for showering, things like tripods, fishing rods, golf clubs if I'm going golfing somewhere. Those types of things I'll put back there. So they kind of take up a lot of room or kind of long, but they don't weigh a lot. So yeah, you can only put up to about 70 pounds in there. And that works perfect for me. I wouldn't put my jackery or any of that stuff. Oh, and I put some of my cooking utensils in there too. Let's see here. Let's see, would you buy a Cybertruck? I have one on order, Element Lifestyle. As I mentioned a little bit ago, yeah, I have one on order. Don't know if I'm going to take delivery when they finally do ship. I mean, that's so delayed right now. I mean, this was, 2017 or something like that when it was announced, along with the Roadster and the Semi is just now coming out. So, yeah, it's an Elon time. You can add 2 to 3 years to everything he says, but maybe, hopefully soon. Silver Year is fun. What do you think about Tesla opening superchargers to non-Teslas? This is actually a video that I'm going to do coming up. I understand the idea from Elon's point where he wants to open it up to help speed along the transition to EVs. but I don't think it's really thought through. I don't think he travels around in his Tesla that much and like goes to superchargers that much. I really don't. I think he goes to his house in Austin, drives to work, and then drives home. I don't think he does a lot of it, because if he did, he'd realize that a lot of them are full. The supercharger that I'm near right now, that's about 15, 20 minutes away, I think when I went there earlier, there was one spot available. And then when I went yesterday, when I got here, there were no spots. I had to wait a second. So yeah, I think they need a lot more till it makes sense. I think that sometimes along the interstate, when you're on a road trip and it's late at night and there's nobody at a supercharger, I think, those make sense to put them at first and kind of test it out. Obviously putting them in city centers, allowing non-EVs to use them in city centers. Hopefully that doesn't happen for a while. But on the other side of it, I'd like to try some other EVs. I like Cadillac Lyriq. Some new Chevy trucks coming out that I like. And the one reason that I won't buy any of them right now, the only reason, is because the third-party charging system sucks right now with Electrify America and ChargePoint. So that opens up the possibilities of me using one of those other EV makers. So I don't know, there's two sides of it. I would say that it's probably better overall to do it. They just got to be real selective in which ones they start with first, and they can't be doing ones in California where they're already full. They got to start with ones that are kind of dead most of the time along the interstate and see how it goes from there, and then keep adding more. I mean, look at how many gas stations are around. That didn't happen overnight. That took a while. Let's see here. JH, hi Brian, here in China, Model Y is priced at $38,000, probably the cheapest in the world. Yeah, that's great. And it seems like it's doing quite well in China right now. And I think it's the Gigafactory there is putting out not only in China, but they're also exporting into other countries. So yeah, it seems to be doing really well. That's a great price. I mean, if that's the equivalent to US dollars, that's an incredible price. So I expect right now with the EV tax credits here in the US, and I think a couple other places are doing it too, a couple other countries where they're offering like an incentive to go to EVs. And now that Tesla dropped the price below 55,000, so the Y does qualify, all versions of it, I think it's gonna sell like crazy. And I think you're gonna see them everywhere. And yeah, I mean, that's a good thing, but they gotta put out more superchargers then. Let's see here, RB, I'm looking into a truck bed camper when I get my Cybertruck. If Cybertruck gets made, big if, only adds weight since it telescopes in use. I'm sorry, if Cyberlander gets made. I'm not familiar with that, so I can't comment on that one, unfortunately. Ethan, have you met any Tesla haters? There are so many Tesla haters in Ontario. Yeah, occasionally, especially, the worst state I've come across so far, especially for like icing and things like that, has been South Dakota. It happened to be during like Sturgis during that week too. But whatever. I've had a few run-ins. I'll have a video coming out in the next week or two about the run-in I had recently after I left White Sands National Park in New Mexico. I think it was like a stop or two after that. I ended up having an issue with a cop who was icing and got into it with him on camera. So the Fish and Wildlife Gaming officer, but let's just say I gave him a piece of my mind. I'm gonna have to use probably a lot of bleeps in that video, but we'll see. Overall, not too many problems in general with people. I don't see icing that often. I've seen it maybe like 4 or 5 times in 18 months, 19 months, so not that bad. X-Ray Ted, where do I place my Starlink router in the car? The left wheel well, that little cubby hole right there. I just plop it right in there, and then I'll show you guys. Then you can see it right there. And then I just put like the extra cord, I just leave it right there. That ends up working well. For anybody who joined late, sun just went over the mountains there. And it is getting cold. Like super, super cold. Like my hands are freezing right now. All right, let's see. Keep it going. I'll try to answer a few more. I'll probably do it another like 10, 15 minutes. Blue Dog 99. How are you doing, buddy, too? Thank you for all the comments on most of the videos. Appreciate you've been an OG subscriber. Let's see here. Have you noticed any Tesla campers the last few years? And are they mostly Ys? Yes, almost every time now. Literally almost every time I go camping, I see Model Ys out camping. I'd like to think I had a little bit to do with that, but yeah, quite a few. It's usually Ys, occasionally 3s. I actually see more 3s than I see Xs. And I have seen one S camping. Super guy. Do you use your Tesla as your primary vehicle? And can you go back to an ICE car? It is my main vehicle. I do plan to get another vehicle in the spring. And I don't know if it'll be an EV because again, I want to have a trailer and I want to be able to tow. So I may do some camping trips without the EV. You know, Cybertruck, if it ever actually finally goes into production, might solve that. But for right now, if I want to have a trailer and really get out to like the remote areas, I still have to go with gas, unfortunately. But we'll see. Well, maybe another company will come along. Parks with Points, looking forward to the box review. Yeah, it should be soon. Should be hopefully within a week, maybe 2 at most. Charles Barkley. I'm going to guess that's not the real one. Well, Sir Charles, any connectivity issues with Starlink? No. I've had, yesterday was when I unpaused it. I had it paused for about 3 months because I wasn't traveling. I was in Nashville for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so I unpaused it when I got here yesterday, and it took about 20 minutes for the activation to go in again. Other than that, no, it's been fine, and I'm getting between 60 and usually 150 megs down with it. Let's see here. Are there really Tesla tunnels in Vegas? From Janet Jenkins. Yes, there is. It's called the what's it called? The Boring Tunnel? Is that it? But it goes between a bunch of different casinos, and they actually just added Resorts World, I think, to that. Yeah, so you can jump in and take Model Ys and Model Xs underneath Vegas, and it'll go from resort to resort. I think the main area where it first started was the like Expo Conference Center in Vegas, and then from there it branches out to a bunch of different casinos. I'm freezing. I might go in the car in a minute. Michael Huffman, how much range difference have you experienced when temperatures are below freezing? Thanks again. Oh yeah, hey Michael. He said, thanks again for my Amazon gift card and greatly enjoy your travel videos. I appreciate that. I appreciate you watching. Michael, actually, I ran like a contest where people could guess where I was going next, and I would give clues on the YouTube community page. And that was when I was going to North Carolina, and Michael ended up guessing correctly. I think probably about 20 or 30 people guessed and stuff, and he ended up getting it. So temperature-wise, I have noticed a little bit. I don't know what that percentage is. I'm guessing it's probably like a 10% range difference. Now, again, I don't go to, I'm from Minnesota originally. I don't go there during the winter for a very good reason. I hate the cold. So I haven't really been exposed to like 30 below, 40 below temperatures, but you know, like around here, it's like 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's, it hasn't been too bad. I'm guessing like 10%. I did notice last night with camp mode that it did take off. I was here typically I would take off about 1 or slightly over 1% per hour when I'm camping during the spring or the fall or the summer even. And this time it was taking off probably about 2% per hour. So after 12 hours of sleeping last night, it took off about 24%. And I think it had a lot to do with having Starlink plugged in, which is taking between 60 and 100 watts, my fridge being plugged in, then also charging my iPhone, my MacBook, my Apple Watch, things like that. So the combination of all that took off a little bit more than usual. But yeah, the cold does hinder it a little bit for the batteries, but I'm not in extreme temperatures. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna grab a drink. I can't even, I'm so cold, I can't move, I can't take the bottle cap off. Horn okay, please. This has been awesome, Brian. Here for more streams, more locations. I hope to. Like I said, I apologize for the technical difficulties at the beginning. I'm just going to do it like this from now on, where I'm using my phone to actually do it, but then I'll use my computer to read the comments and go from there. But let's see here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to put my gloves on so I can do this for a few more minutes because I'm having a good time. Let's see here. It's Lance time. It's cold. Yes, it is very cold. There you go. You can see. It's Lance time. How many miles are on the Model Y at this point? I just passed 40,000. Of course, my laptop won't work unless I take my glove off. It's Lance time. I would like to take my Model 3 on road trips, but I'm afraid to drive it and bring mileage up and lower the value. Yeah, but sometimes you just gotta live life, man. Like, are you really living to like worry about, I mean, I know don't go to extremes and like overdrive it, but go have fun. Don't worry about it. Take it on some trips. And here's the thing. It's not like it was like 6 months ago where Teslas were, they're still just as hot, but the demand is still high, but they've caught up on production. And they raised prices for so long that now that dropping them, it's picked up again. But the used car market, I think it was Ryan Shaw did a video the other day. It's dropped like 18% over the last like, I think month or something like that on Teslas. And used cars in general. So while there was a period there where everything was like super high for used cars, that's come down now. That kind of bubble has burst. So I wouldn't worry about your mileage too much. It's going to be pretty standard, you know, go on a few trips, have some fun, and don't worry about it too much. Blue Dog 99 looks cold there. Go ahead and start making a fire. Well, wait, I should. I have got my firewood right there. I probably should. Will you road trip to Canada in the future? I'd love to. I've never been to Canada. But would love to. Let's see here. What is your overall, let's see here. Super guy, what is your overall charging habits? Do you follow 80-20 and have you noticed any battery degradation since owning your Tesla? So battery degradation, I have. When I first got my Tesla, it was rated for 326 miles. Now it's rated for, I think it's showing a full charge is about 306, somewhere around that. So I think like a 7%, I can't remember exactly what that is, but like maybe like a 7% degradation so far. And I generally follow the 80-20 rule. Some of the newer Teslas with the lithium iron phosphate batteries, I believe, you don't have to. You can charge them as many times as you want, all the way up to 100%. It doesn't matter. But like the ones from 21, early 22, you should follow the 80-20, which is like when you're in town, you're at home, you charge up to 80%. That's for the best life of your battery. And then when you're obviously on the road and you're traveling and stuff like that, you're going to have to go to 100% occasionally, but generally you wouldn't have to do that. So just try to keep it under 80. I do go below, like I'll go way down to like 5% before I get to a supercharger. When you're asking about overall charging habits, for instance, on the road, I want to make sure that I get to the next supercharger with the lowest possible state of charge. So I'll try to get there with like 5 to 10%. And then that'll mean, because at the beginning, that's when you're going to get the fastest charging times, is right at the beginning. So I try to charge for, keep my charge things, or keep my charge times under like 25 minutes. And if you do that, that seems to move you along the fastest, most efficient way. And yeah, then you're just, you're not sitting around for 45 minutes at each supercharger, which I would never charge a supercharger above 85% unless it's absolutely necessary, simply because it's going to take, that last 15% is going to take forever. Tony Abdallah, I took your advice and grabbed a Bodega fridge and Evanex privacy shades. Looking forward to field testing them in 2 weeks. Awesome. That's both great products. The Bodega is a little bit larger than the one I have currently, the Iceco. The Bodega won't fit in the sub trunk, which is unfortunate, but it's also a lot beefier. It's got nice big wheels and a handle on it. And especially if you have more than one person, I'd say that's probably probably a better option. Although if you have more than one person, you're married or something like that, having the Iceco in the sub trunk is nice, because then you have the bed for the whole back. So I guess it's just, excuse me, when you have limited space, if you've watched my channel for a while, you've seen me change, different setups quite often. That's because companies send me things and I'm like, oh, this is cool, let me try this. And then I try it and I'm like, that is awesome. Okay, I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to get rid of this. Which, speaking of, by the way, this has me thinking, so on my website, I was planning to actually start selling some of my used equipment. Most of it's like brand new. You would never even know it's used. Lots of times companies send me stuff, I'll test them, review them, and then I either don't need them, or sometimes there'll be things like I'll have an extra fridge because I'll, buy a different one that works better for my setup. So like my Bodega, I have just sitting at home. And so if I've sold those, would anybody be interested? I mean, I have to figure out the shipping logistics on all that, but I still have like my Tesla roof rack. That's for sale. Anybody wants one? Send me an email on my website, bryanhauer.com/contact, and let me know, because I think that's something I'd like to start doing, because I just get sent so many things now that I mean, how many floor liners do I need? The 3D ones that I have in there right now, those are honestly the best ones that I've had. So that's why, I don't do a bunch of floor liner reviews, because there aren't better ones. Occasionally they'll send them to me and I'll look at them and I'll be like, look guys, I'm not going to give you a great review. Do you want me to even continue to do it? So for me, or I should say for you guys, if you're interested in used stuff, let me know in comments, send me an email, something like that. I have a bunch of used stuff. When I get back to Nashville, I'm going to be selling. All right, got to get a drink. The search for awesome. Looking at the Tesloid tent that extends off the Model Y for family camping. Could the Y heat cool the tent? Bad idea. It could a little bit. It's, if you're in Moab and it's 95 out, it's not going to matter. It's not going to be able to keep up with that. If it's 70 out and you have it turned on, to like a cooler setting, you might get a little bit from it, but that's a good idea. Yeah, there's lots of options for tents and things that you can extend off the back. So definitely, I'd actually like to see if you ever get that set up. Send me a picture. Mike K, what are your top websites that you use for your trip planning campground search? So this video that I'm on right now is actually, I'm doing like a promo thing for The Dirt, which is an app. And so I'm going to be promoting them in that video. And so That's the one I mainly use. It allows me to use BLM, Bureau of Land Management. For anybody not in the US, that basically just means that it's federal land that anybody can camp on. Usually it's free, but occasionally there is a small fee. Like this place, it's $10 per night. But people used to always ask, how do you find those BLM campsites? And I'm like, back then I was using a couple different apps along with the Bureau of Land Management website. Now just go on the dirt. I have the pro version. It's like $25 a year or something like that. And I'll have a link to it in this coming video when I edit this one. And you basically just like put what location you're either going to, or you can just hit find me and it'll just show you where you are. It'll do an overlay to show you not only where all the BLM camping is, but also it'll show you all the options for camping in your area. It has up to 40% off all those campgrounds. So there's lots of good deals through it too. And you can download offline maps. So if you're gonna go hike an area, you can just hit the download offline map. That is one mistake I made when I was in where was I? I was in Tennessee, and I was in like eastern Tennessee and the Smoky Mountains. And when I was in the Smokies, I made a rookie mistake. Didn't download any offline maps. You get into the national park, Tesla doesn't connect to anything. The iPhone doesn't connect to anything. I had no maps, and I was trying to find how to get to the campsite. So always a good idea to make sure you download or at least cache, like go to where you're going to go to first on the maps so that it caches it. And then you'll be able to find where you're going if you lose cell service. Let's see here. Super Guy, do you use BLM more or paid campsites? I use BLM more, way more fun, way more open. This one, there's people on both sides of me that are, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 yards away. Typically, when I'm camping like in Zion National Park or around there, places in Utah, I will go where there's nobody for like, they wouldn't even hear you if you yell. I like those places. And so for me, those are the best. Go back to my Zion video and watch that. That was actually one of my favorite campsites ever. And the backdrop in the video looks like I'm on a movie set, like on a green screen or something. It was fun. And so those are the types I like. Occasionally though, when I'm going to an area that's a little more remote, I'll try to look for a place that has electrical post. So like a 30 amp or 50 amp. So I don't have to then the next day run back to the supercharger. Luckily where I'm at now, it's only about 15, 20 minutes to the supercharger. But same in Moab when I was there, it's only 15, 20-minute drive back to the supercharger. But occasionally, like places like Glacier National Park, I can't even go there with the Tesla unless I find a hotel or camping with charging. And even then, it's probably going to be level 2, so it's going to take all night to charge. So as much as we all like to say that, EVs are like everything right now, there's still some limitations. And while they can be overcome, they still, there's still a little bit of a challenge. So hopefully those get taken care of and sorted out soon, and they just keep putting in more superchargers. And as we were just talking about earlier, sounds like Elon and Tesla is opening up their chargers to other car manufacturers. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. BitJam, do you do anything special to level the car when you camp? Good question. Let me take my glove off. Just have blocks. There's a bunch of them. I have like 10 of them in the car. I knew it was a little lopsided this time. So 1 left, 2 on the right. There you go. And I put with Velcro, a little light back here. That's been working great. And I have another one inside too. Then I have a little lantern up to the left up there, a little LED lantern, which I actually might go get. Oops, let me turn that off. Give me a second. Little LED lantern. try to all right, there we go. Sorry, I'm freezing. It's 5:24 here. I'm gonna give it about another 10 minutes. I want to keep doing it, but I have to do it in the car. Let's see if any other questions here. Let's see here. Trying to think if there's anything else to let you guys know about. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's been fun. Try the new Zoom call from Mike K. Yeah, I haven't tried that yet. It looked weird when I saw Ryan Shaw do the test of it. It kind of looks funny because he's looking way up here, but on the screen, like, it just looked funny. It just seemed out of place. I don't really see a lot of reason or function for it, but I mean, you could just set up your phone right there and do it that way, or a laptop, but I don't know. Blue Dog 99, thanks Brian, this was awesome, let's do it again. I would love to. Thank you for joining. Thank you to everybody. Yeah, I'm probably gonna actually go cook some food and call it a night. So I really appreciate everybody tuning in, and thank you for watching all the videos and all the great comments and stuff like that. And I just hope to continue to do this as long as I can and just enjoy nature. So thank you again. I will see you guys in the next video, which hopefully will be tomorrow, maybe Monday, we'll see. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks again for watching. See you guys later.